バカ！犠牲者を粗末に扱うな。我は村の住民だぞ。
The troops carrying the sacks answered me with a humble salute. The world didn't need this insane version of Hinamizawa. My final wish, again, it was granted. Oh, right, yeah, his wish was for the Hinamizawa, like the crazy Hinamizawa, to go away. That's right, he did wish for this. It was granted. Oof. I didn't understand anything anymore. None of it mattered. I wished, I cursed, and then it happened the next day. Then please, tomorrow morning, let me die. That insane night. It's still going on. Please, please end it already.
Oi, 意識が喪失したぞ。患者の名前を呼びかけろ。早く。
前原君、聞こえるかい？聞こえるなら瞬きでいいからしてくれ。前原君、前原君、前原君。
Suddenly, the world didn't matter to me anymore. I wasn't interested in their cries.
呼吸が停止したぞ。気道確保。人工呼吸。絶対に生かせ。
Make him.
畜生。畜生。もうこれ以上死者はごめんだぞ。死んでもいい命なんかないんだ。殺すな。殺すな。
I could hear the voice of a man crying and screaming in my ears. Nobody deserves to die. Those words came from his heart. They were so commonplace, and they soaked into my heart too. Maybe it was a mistake to take someone's life, even if it was to save Satoko. If this is the price I had to pay, this horrible tragedy, then this is a little much, Oyashiro-sama. Why did you never punish me? Come to think of it, Satoko said something. Oyashiro-sama's actual curse never goes for the target at first, but kills everyone they love before that. Oyashiro-sama's curse. It was a convenient excuse I told myself at the very end. That it wasn't my curse that destroyed it, but Oyashiro-sama's. Given that I was in a stretcher, this next bit might have been obvious. But last of all, I realized one thing. Yeah. Today, I had not heard those footsteps following me even once. And now, I was liberated. As the cries of the Higurashi I couldn't have been hearing filled my mind. Their tearful ensemble was the only funeral march I had. Liberation? I got an achievement. Oh, yeah, I forgot you can see it. What's that achievement? Escaped at last, because we're dead. June 22nd, 1983, early morning. A widespread disaster occurred in Hinamizawa Village, Shishibone Prefecture. Volcanic gas, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen sulfide erupted from Onikafuchi Swamp, one of Hinamizawa area's water sources, and spread throughout the entire village. There were 1,200 victims. 20 have gone missing. The catastrophe was unprecedented, forcing local governments to evacuate approximately 600,000 people. According to later investigations, magma pools and hot springs were uncovered directly under Onikafuchi Swamp, and the gas that gushed from it was determined to be the cause of the disaster. In addition, directly after the incident broke out, many came forth claiming this disaster was a curse based in Hinamizawa village legends, first sparking a wave of chaos. There were apparently local legends of a curse spreading in miasma, destroying the village. And some scholars believe a similar gas disaster may have happened in the past, and remain part of these legends. More extreme periodicals suggested this was an extension of the string of freak death incidents that had been happening in recent years in Hinamizawa Village, stirring interest in theories about this curse of Oyashiro-sama. In addition, relatives of those in Hinamizawa Village who had escaped the disaster complained of sickness afterwards and were hospitalized. Some of them even died of unknown causes, further encouraging such extreme opinions. On top of that, several relatives professing to be possessed by Oyashiro-sama's curse committed suicide in strange ways. And the impact the disaster had on the entire nation can no longer be ignored. Wild visions of terrible toxic gas sneaking around in the middle of the night, killing people spilled across the country, causing a steady stream of people complaining of insomnia, difficulty breathing, headaches, dizziness, etc. Some who identified themselves as being obsessed by it began doing odd things. Most of these were mistakenly attributed by the tabloid press. But afterwards, some even began to call the mental issues arising from the Hinamizawa tragedy the Hinamizawa syndrome. The Hinamizawa village region, the object of all kinds of rumors and speculations, is currently closed off, and even flying overhead is prohibited. The prohibition was at one point undone as a result of a disease or decrease in the gas's density, but that autumn another gas burst was confirmed, leading to the area being cordoned off again. Word is that the area is sound asleep, all traces of its former life intact and left to rot. Only one survivor remains, Keiichi Maibara, age 1, who lived at Hinamizawa Village. At the time of rescue, he had some trouble breathing due to fluid buildup in his lungs, but as a result of life-saving procedures, he was kept alive. He's currently in a general hospital somewhere in the prefecture. The press have been asking him for some time, but all interviews are being refused. What did he see in Hinamizawa? What happened between June 21st and 22nd in Hinamizawa Village? Today he remains silent, unwilling to speak of it. Great Hinamizawa disaster something. Possibly committed suicide in the village. Investigated since suspended. Strangled to death in the mountains. Body was burnt to a crisp. Went missing during investigation. Went missing during investigation. Possibly committed suicide in the clinic. Possibly murdered at the shrine. Reina Ryugu died. Mion Oryu Satoko went missing. Teppei went missing. Maibara died. Oh, that's parents, right? Died. Kasai died. Shion committed suicide at the victim's hospital. Investigation concluded. Keiichi Maibara attempted suicide at the victim's hospital. Diagnosed with severe mental disorder. He refused interviews, living his days in peace. Oh, that's a lot of words. What is this other language that they've got here? It almost seems like Pig Latin or something. I wonder why it doesn't understand. So, that actually, this looks like regular English. They just, like, cutting out some letters here and there. That might have actually been just regular English, but with a portion of the letters removed and shoved together. June 2003. An elderly couple living in Osaka Prefecture discovered a cassette tape while organizing the possessions of their son, who passed away 8 years ago. Their son went missing when his fishing boat capsized in 1995. He was 47 at the time of his death. 8 years later, in 2003, they began to organize their son's remains in order to organize their minds, and came across the cassette tape in question. From 1975 to 1989, the deceased had experience working as a journalist for a photography periodical, and this tape is thought to have been created during that time. The label on the tape read 11/28/1983 Keiichi Maibara. It is thought the tape was recorded during an interview with Keiichi Maibara, the only survivor of the Great Hinamizawa disaster that occurred in June 1983. As the only person who lived through the disaster on the night of June 21st, shrouded in mystery, many interested parties attempted to question him, but he never once spoke physically to anyone in a public place. Therefore, the tape caused quite a stir, possibly being of extremely high value. Click.
なんだか録音されてると思うとすごく喋りにくいですね。
気にしない気にしない。ほら、こうすれば録音してるのも気にならないでしょ。
After this, the sound quality dramatically decreases. Did he cover the recording device with something?
じゃあ始めるね。まず最初の質問から。圭一君はあの大災害の夜どこにいたのかな？
神社から裏に抜けてずっと林道を進んで吊り橋があるんですよ。山に入る少し前にそこから落ちて気を失ってました。
それは大災害の夜、つまり21日から22日にかけての深夜のこと？い
え、21日の火曜日の朝です。それで次の日の昼間に目を覚ましたわけですから、1日半はそこで気を失ってたと思います。
どうしてそんなところに？誰もが持つ疑問だけど、当日は平日で、しかも落ちた橋は君の家と学校からは大きく離れているよね。ざっくばらんに言って、君が大災害の発生を事前に知っていて、村から逃げる途中に吊り橋から落ちたんじゃないかっていう声もあるんだけど。
冗談じゃないです。勝手なことを言わないでください。
私も随分ひどい言い分だと思うよ。気を悪くしないでね。さて、次に圭一君が落ちたという吊り橋なんだけど、地図で言うとここだよね。神社の裏から林道を抜けて至る吊り橋というのは。
多分、俺もあんまり行かないところなので、自信はないですが。
ははは、そんなに行かないところに、どうして平日の朝に行ったのか、疑問。それで、この君が気絶していたという河原なんだけど、実はそれはありえないという噂は知っているかい？
ありえない。また、ありえないですか。また、まだ。
For a little while, Keiichi Maibara mutters the word impossible several times.
どうしてありえないと？
火山ガスが発生したのは鬼が吹くというものなのは知ってるよね。それで学者の先生が緻密な模型を使ってシミュレーションをしたら興味深いことが分かったんだってさ。例の火山ガスってのは空気よりも重いらしくて。
I was wondering about that. I feel like the gas would have gone in that river that he was in.
地形に沿って低いところへ低いところへ流れ込む水みたいな性質があるんだってさ。それで発生源の鬼ヶ淵沼からそういうガスが噴出し、どれくらいの時間をかけて村を覆うのか実験がされたんだ。そしたらさ、君が気絶していたという河原、流れ込むんだよ、ガスが。
よく言ってる意味がわからないんですが。
つまり、君が本当にこの河原で気絶していたなら、君は丸一晩、猛毒の火山ガスの中にいたことになるんだよ。だからつまり、 君がここで気絶をしていた可能性は否定されたわけさ。もっとざっくばらんに言うよ。私はね、君が嘘をついているんじゃないかなって思うんだ。
You're not a very good reporter.
君は大災害の時、安全なところに身を潜めていて、ガスが薄れた頃合いを見計らって村に現れて自衛隊の人に保護された。どうかな？図星かな？
For a short time, the journalist presses Keiichi Maibara further, in a teasing way, but all that can be heard are heavy sighs.
別に仮にそうだったとしても、
驚かないとはどういう意味だい？
Was this recording really taken of Keiichi
言い
Maibara?
ましたよね。
Some harbor suspicions.
ありえないって。あの津波沢ではありえないことなんていくらでも起こるんです。あそこじゃいないはずの場所に人がいる。
Who shouldn't be exist?
死んだはずの人が生きてる。そんなこと珍しいことじゃないんですよ。まさか俺自身が死んだはずなのに生きているってやつを立証しようとはね。
Alright, that laugh confirms it. That's definitely Keiichi Maibara. The journalist and Keiichi Maibara both laughed for a while.
じゃあ、ケイチ君、話を変えるよ。
To verify its authenticity, I had the others in the Maibara family check the tapes with his voice in it. However, the sound was not clear and much time had passed, so the relatives I checked with couldn't remember what he sounded like. It's rude. I was unable to gain positive proof that it was actually his voice. I wonder who these messages are coming from. It's not from the reporter, so it's from somebody else who's, like, listening to this afterwards. Somebody kind of like in our position, so to speak.
あの大災害が、ひなみ沢連続開始事件の5年目のたたりではないかという話についてはどう思う？
いや、それはないですね。5年目のたたりは俺ですから。
え？何のこと？
何のことって、あんたの話に対する答えですよ。あの大災害は、まあ、言っても信じないでしょうけど。
Doubts also remain regarding the date 11/28 written on the tape.
俺が起こしたんです。俺がね、こんな村、丸ごと死んじまえって願ったから起こったんです。
そりゃ豪快な話だね。
豪快？そういう面白い言い方もあるんですね。高野さんも俺が殺したし、監督も大石も俺が殺した。
After Keiichi Maibara's failed suicide attempt on a certain August day 2 months after the disaster, he was diagnosed with a mental disorder and transported to a treatment facility.
あの時の俺にはね、何か神がかり的な力が宿ってたんですよ。そう。例えるなら、足音かな。
足音？ってなんだいそれ。
あんた、足音を聞いたこともないんですか？ペタペタ、ひたひた。あんたも今日からは歩いてるとき、不意に立ち止まってみると面白いですよ。
The facility never allowed any news coverage, so it's extremely unlikely that a tape from the media dated after August 1983 would have his voice on it.
それでね、自分がちゃんと立ち止まったにもかかわらず、足音が一つ余計に聞こえたなら、 気をつけた方がいいですよ。
Nervous laughter.
そうだね。気をつけるようにするよ。
Maybe I should stop interviewing this kid.
面白いこと話してました。あんた、さっきからヘラヘラと笑ってばかりですね。
However, the reporter had been criticized for his forceful methods of collecting data while he was active, so there is still a possibility that he broke into the facility and forced Keiichi Maibara to talk.
監督と同じだ。俺のことを同情したり、話を聞いたりしてるふりをしながら、その実、人のことを異常者扱いしてる目だ。
そんなことはないよ。
いや、俺にはわかるんです。あんたの目は監督と同じだ。あの日以来、もう足音は聞こえない。
Is this truly Keiichi Maibara's voice? The authenticity of this recording is still wrapped in mystery.
だから俺にはもう、あんな恐ろしい力は残ってないだろうけど、今ここでもう一度、あんたの死を願ってみるよ。俺に不愉快な話ばかりをする、あんたの死を。そうだな。今回は一つ、死に方も決めてみようかな。高野さんは焼け死にだったから。じゃああんたは逆に水だ。水に溺れて死ぬってのはどうだ。
Whoa.
絶好調だった
Spooky.
当時の俺なら、次の朝までには必ず死んでる。
15 years after this tape was created, the reporter, just as Keiichi Maibara had predicted, died in an accident out on the sea.
さてあんたは、何日後に水で死ぬかな。
Oh! Oh. I don't know if I like the creepy Keiichi Maibara. He's gone over the edge of this one.
あんたも気をつけろよ。俺ごときにたたり殺されるな。
The recording ends in the middle of Keiichi Maibara's laughter. I need to get out of here. This kid's creepy. And Keiichi Maibara? Late on the night of 11/30/1983, 2 days after the interview, he suddenly died from a high fever cause unknown, records the remain of the strange words he kept giving after pressing the call button the day before he died. An extra set of footsteps. Okay, this is kind of spooky. I feel like I should have kept the light on. Oh. Oh, that's spooky. Whew. Oh, that was a little bit spooky. Wow. The Great Hinamizawa Disaster.